Panthers fans, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I just recorded a video. I was going to do talk about 4 different games in that video, but I made it 16 minutes long talking about Bryce Young and how bad he is. And I know you guys don't want to hear this. You blame Tepper. Oh, Tepper, the owner, he's so bad. Oh, he has no help. Bryce Young has no help, man. Trust me. This stuff like that, right? All this fucking gay nonsense. Listen. Andy Dalton was putting up points with this team, right? I know Deontay Johnson didn't play. I know Adam Thielen didn't play. He was putting up points on this team. Okay. Bryce Young came in, led a touchdown drive, his first drive of the game, right? Opening drive, led a touchdown. That's his first touchdown since the Saints game in week 1, where he scored a bullshit. I don't know if I fumbled. I don't know if I scored type of touchdown in a blowout, right? That's what he did. And before that, he didn't score for 10 straight quarters. So that's what you have as the number 1 pick, right? The number 1 pick in the NFL draft last year, making $37 million. That's just what it is. And that's what he made. So let's talk about this drive. They run the ball amazingly right here, right? They have Miles Sanders running the ball. They have Chuba Hubbard running the ball against some swing passes. And that's what he was. He was captain check down today, right? He was captain check down today. Why was he captain check down today? Because he sucks. He's awful, right? That's a nice play right there. You get him in a rollout, get him either to run the ball for a first down or freaking hit a receiver. He throws a back shoulder to a trailing to Xavier Legette, who with Pat Surtain trailing him, terrible throw, but Legette makes the necessary finishes to get the touchdown, right? So, anyways, I'm done talking about that. So I want to talk about this guy as a man, right? As a man, this guy is not. He has no cojones. He's a pussy. So you guys have to understand. If you guys didn't watch my videos about Bryce Young, I played basketball with Bryce Young 3 months ago at Lifetime. He used to play in this Lifetime league with against us. And you have to understand, I have a couple NFL players on my team. He obviously was one of the NFL players on their team. And this guy is not a competitor, right? I've played against many good players. I mean, I played against Derwin James, Geno Smith, Cardell Jones, Hunter Henry, Keenan Allen. I played against many players, and all of them, Casey Hayward, all of them are very competitive, right? All of them are very competitive. But Bryce Young is not competitive. I scored on Derwin James before. I had an in-and-out crossover, step back on him, hit a 3, did like a celebration on him, did one of these probably. I don't know what I did, and hit a 3, right? And I was like, step up, Nick, whatever I said, right? And then I hit a 3 on him, and then he was, oh, yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like. Picked me up full court, calling me the N-word, basically freaking committed domestic violence against me. And that's just what it was. It was competitive. It was fun, right? That's fun. I hit a shot on Bryce Young, and this guy goes, "Good shot, man." Don't do that. I don't want that. Even though it's nice, I know we're in a nice place at Lifetime Fitness. It's a really nice gym. Like, but don't do that, man. I know. Like I want you to be that dog, that like you have to be, and that's what Adam Thielen was talking about when he was talking about you. You don't have that dog mentality, right? Some people, you're scared. You're a scared boy out there. You fleeced. You're the biggest scammer in the NFL, bigger than Deshaun Watson, because you shouldn't be in the NFL. At least Deshaun Watson had a proven track record through like 6 years of how he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You literally were shit. You were average. You were average at Alabama. Let's be honest. You were average at Alabama. You couldn't lead your team to a national championship with the best player. You couldn't lead your team to um, I mean, you had Jameson Williams on your team. You had who do you have? Mechie. You had a lot of good players on your team. Couldn't lead them to a championship, right? Um, you lost to Tennessee. Like that's in Alabama, right? But in the Panthers, you can't win games. You're 0-9 on the road, now 0-10 on the road as a starter. That's embarrassing. So I'm just gonna talk about him as a person. I mean, this dude, he he just has the same crap all the time. It's always we didn't execute as a team. We didn't do this. We didn't execute. They did a good job. He even says in this interview I'm going to show you. He even says, "Well, we played the number 1 defense today and they did a good job." What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? They put their shoes on the same way you put your shoes on. They piss the way you piss. Actually, maybe not you because you probably piss sitting down, but they piss the way your teammates piss. What are you saying? What are you actually? What does that even mean? Like, oh, they're the number one defense. I'm gonna give you like a little soundbite here. Yeah, I'll give you a little soundbite here of what this guy was saying.
What seemed to go wrong after that for a while?
Just execution. Credit to the Broncos and them on defense. They did a really good job. Especially at the beginning, we felt like we were just one play away, whether it was self-inflicted or.
Do you see that bullshit excuse? They're the number one defense, so they did a good job. He had to throw that in there to tell people, hey, I scored 14 points against this defense. That's what he wanted to say, right? That's what he wanted to imply. But hey, buddy, you're in the NFL. You need to score points. You need to win games. Just because you scored 14 points isn't a celebration. You need to win games. And 14 points, let's be honest, you scored 7, and then you had 7 late in garbage time with 18 seconds left to coker, right? So let's just be honest, right? And I need to be honest too with these Carolina Panthers fans in the comments. These fucking fans are so bad. They're embarrassing. You guys need to stop freaking watching sports. You guys are saying, "Oh, keep pounding." I know that's your hashtag or whatever, your motto. Keep pounding, Bryce Young. You're a God-fearing man, this and that. Dude, Bryce Young, he's not a competitor. You guys have to understand. What do you guys want from him? Do you want him to be your quarterback? Because he doesn't even want that. He even says it in the video, basically, in my way. I think he says it. He basically says, I don't want to be the starter. I'm a fucking pussy. I hate my life, and I'm just going to keep scamming for $37 million, right? Or I hate playing football. He doesn't hate his life because he's making $37 million. I hate playing football, so I'm going to continue scamming, and I love it. And if Andy Dalton wants to play, then Andy Dalton can play. So that's basically what he said, right?
Just execution stuff, and then, second half, we just got to do a better job of stringing along drives, executing. Again, credit to them. They did a good job. And then for us, just got to watch the film and then, see what we got to do to get better.
Bryce, from a coverage standpoint, what were they doing to take away the deep shot in that first half?
So everything is always, we got to execute better and we got to watch film. They've been watching film. Bro, you've been watching film. You've been watching film, right? You watched it the last 2 weeks of the regular season last year, right? In 2023 or early 2024. Were you watching it then when you scored 0 points back-to-back weeks? How about before in week 1 against the New Orleans Saints? You were watching film. You scored 0 points the whole first half. Were you watching film against the Chargers where you scored 0 touchdowns the whole game? What film are you watching? What film are you watching? Stop with these excuses. And Panthers fans, stop giving this guy. He reads your comments probably. It's like, oh, this guy, these guys support me. They support me. This and that, right?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Let me talk about the starter
for getting everyone ready. And again, I've worked with all these guys throughout training, control.
For being the starter.
Season, I have the utmost faith in all of them.
What's your argument for being the starter next week?
That's out of my hands. Again, I try to focus on what I can control. Whatever it is, I'm going to bring my best to the building. I want to contribute to help the team however it is, and those decisions are out of my hands.
Do you want to be the starter?
I mean, again, of course, obviously I'm grateful to play. I'm a competitor. Of course, I want to be on the field. But again, I trust the coaching staff. They're going to do what's best for the team. I'm going to, no matter what my role is, I'm going to do what's best for the team and do everything I can to contribute to winning football. And also, again, the beauty of it for me through all this is like the relationship with Andy. Great person. We're really close. So we both know, regardless of whatever circumstances are, we're both going to be rooting for each other.
That is the most faggot answer I've ever heard in my life. Why is that? Excuse me. Okay, he's asked about being the starter, and he said, that's out of my control. That's the coach's job. No, it's not. It's your job. It's your job to perform in these situations, in these games, to prove that you're the starter, that you're the franchise quarterback, that you're the number 1 pick of the 2023 draft, and why Tepper was smart enough to draft you, even though Frank Reich said no, and whoever else, the offense coordinator, said no, right? That's what you're supposed to prove. And you can't prove that. And you can't prove that because you're not good enough, but you also don't have the competitive spirit. What else does he say? He says, I know that if that me and Andy Dalton have a great relationship and whoever's starting basically is cheering for each other. What the fuck does that mean? You know, Tom Brady used to play every preseason game because he didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo or whoever, Brian Hoyer, whoever his backup, he would play the first quarter and most of the second quarter because he didn't want those guys playing and against starters and showing that they have something so he looks replaceable. That's what they didn't want. He didn't want that. That's competitor. You know what's crazy is this guy doesn't care. Look at him. He doesn't care. He's just so timid, so pussy. Like this is what it is, right? This is what it is. How can you have somebody like this? You want a guy that's fired up, like Phillip Rivers, playing on a torn ACL. You want a guy like Tom Brady, right? You want a guy like Kobe playing basketball on a torn Achilles, playing basketball with a dislocated finger. And then you want somebody like that who has alpha mentality that he's like, I'm the best guy here. I'm the best quarterback in the NFL. You know who has that? Jaden Daniels. You know who else has that? Caleb Williams. You know who else has that? CJ Stroud. Those guys think they're the best. They actually know they're the best. And that's the problem. This guy doesn't even think he's Andy Dalton caliber. Andy Dalton's played, he's 37 years old. And why is he competing with you? You should be asking him for help as a mentor. That's what you should be saying. Yeah, I look at Andy Dalton as a mentor to me. He's going to help me read coverages better.